Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 337 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and today we have another squatting day. Now, today I'll be putting a heavy burden on my body with just a small weight, and I feel like, there's kind of this stigma or this impression, and I have this impression too, where, it feels like if we want to put a heavy burden on our body, we have to use heavy weight. So, for example, with the pistol squat, right? Just move as much weight as possible for a few reps. But, lately I've been feeling like, in fact, with more volume and lighter weight, it is easier to become sore in the body. So, I used to do extreme volume workouts with the pistol squat where I would only use my body weight, or I would use 10 kilos, but I would do hundreds of reps. And from those workouts, like even after a week, I would not be recovered. I would not be my old self. And, case in point as well with the push-ups that I've been doing lately. 2 days ago, I did a chest workout, and basically all of those push-ups were just body weight, but today my chest is still fucking sore, and I'm wondering if I'm gonna be recovered in 2 days to do a chest workout again. It takes a longer time, and it makes sense as well if you think about it, because, yes, if you use heavy weight, you're gonna put some strain on your CNS, your central nervous system as well, like systematic fatigue. But when it comes to like breaking down your body, if you squat, for example, the pistol squat, right? Let's say I do my workout today again, just like last time, with 44 kilos. I'm only gonna be able to squat that weight for a couple reps. And when I end the workout, the moment that I'm not able to squat the weight anymore, I'm in a state where I'm just not able to squat 44 kilos anymore. But if I were to do a lower weight, I would still be able to do it, right? 24 kilos. However, if I use lower weight or even body weight, and then I squat until I can't anymore, I'm at this state where I'm not even able to squat low weight anymore or even body weight anymore. So my body is broken down, because if I break my body down to the point I'm not able to squat, even at body weight, forget about the 44 kilos, right? That's just out of the question. But vice versa, if I am not able to squat 44 kilos anymore, I can still do the body weight because my body is not broken down as much. So, it's kind of, it's like weird at first, but when you think about it, it actually makes sense. But anyway, today's goal is not to just completely beat myself down. In fact, I'm gonna use lighter weight to really put emphasis on my quadriceps, make sure that my form is correct, try and use the correct muscles, control the negative, and this way I'm gonna be able to train the form actually. So it's a lighter weight. It's still gonna be hard. I'm gonna be doing 5 sets of 6 reps on each of my legs. So it's gonna feel hard, but even at the end, I hope to feel like I still have a couple more reps in the tank. And basically, this will, like I said, allow me to train my form and basically use the correct activations while not tiring out myself. Because I feel like if I can control the negative on these pistol squats, it's gonna be the key to PRing for the 1 rep max at the end of the last month, basically, of this bulk, because right now there's only 1 month left. But anyway, let's get started. 5 sets of 6, and then we can move on to the next exercise. Fuck yeah. Alright, never underestimate pistol squats. Because just when I thought this was gonna be comfortable, the next set was burning as hell, but Anyway, moving on to exercise number 2. I'm not gonna take a longer, actually let's take a bit of a longer break. Catch my breath before I start exercise number 2. But basically, it's gonna be Bulgarian squats with the same weight, 26 kilos, 57 pounds for 5 sets. I'm gonna start with sets of 10 reps, but I'm gonna do the slow negatives again. So 3-second negative. If I hit 10 reps, the set is gonna take quite a while, so it's definitely not gonna be easy, but I feel like if I can get some volume here, it'll give me a good pump, a good bit of tiredness in the legs. The tiredness will keep my body alert and allow it, or trigger it, to recover even further for next time when I'm hitting weights again, big weights. I'm talking, close to 50 kilos hopefully. But yeah, let's go 2 more minutes and then let's go. Fucking hell. I think that was measured perfectly, because on the last 2 sets I tried to go for rep number 11 on my left leg, but it just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't go up. So 26 kilos on the Bulgarian squat for 5 sets of 10. That's a new PR, because this is a new movement, and all I have to do next time is perhaps add a few kilos. 2 kilos is enough, and basically go for the same rep and set scheme again, because if I do the same sets and reps with more weight, that's progress. So holy fuck, that's for next time. Now we have 1 more set left. You might be able to guess what kind of set it is, but if not, you'll see it in the snap of a finger. Alright, last set of the day, CC squats followed by CC squat negatives. So I'll be helping myself up by pulling on the poles, whereas on the first few reps, when I still have the power, I'll be just grabbing them slightly as a guidance to not use my balance. But once the power is gone, I'll be actually pulling up and only controlling the negative movement. Once I cannot do that anymore, the set is not finished. I'm gonna go over or move on to something I like to call bunny squats, which is basically tippy toe squats. So you're on your toes just like in the CC squats, but you're doing a normal squat. So by being on your toes, you allow your knees to go all the way out in front of your toes, and basically this puts a lot of pressure on your quadriceps, because you don't have to go backwards, you don't have to lean forward, you can just keep your back straight and your glutes are not working anymore. Or they are a little bit, of course. You cannot completely isolate it in a squat, but it's negligible. Negligible? You can neglect it, I guess, ignore it. But anyway, I cannot speak anymore, so let's squat instead. Ah, the real burn starts when the set is done. Holy fuck. One thing I do, or try to pay attention to, when I do these sets is, on the CC squats on the way down, it's like I'm slowly pulling away my toes like this, but on the way up, I drive my toes into the floor forward, almost like you're trying to kick a soccer ball with like the bottom part of your toes. But yeah, that really makes sure that the quadriceps are fired up. Alright, so that's it for today's training. And my legs are bloated, my lower half is bloated, I'll say that much. Not only my quadriceps, but just the leg in general. And so, hopefully, if I flex them a bit, you can see that, you know, it's a bit thicker than normal, but let's just do a quick pose like this. Alright. You know, I'm back at 75.5 kilos as of this morning. I've been really trying to push the food. It's not always comfortable, but I feel like it is necessary. And at least for today, it resulted in some nice gains in a strong squat. And hopefully it will result in good recovery as well. But, you know, when you look at today's workout, of course, everything was light. And, you know, you could even say I went, you know, a bit of the science-based route by controlling every negative and really not trying to break down in form. But even though the science-based community has been getting some hate lately, that doesn't mean that some of their principles are very useful. Perhaps not for like actual muscle building, but when it comes to polishing your technique, and therefore, you know, having a better technique will make you stronger. So in the future, by polishing your technique, you'll be able to push more weight. I feel like science-based lifting is very good for that, you know, because you leave some room in your sets, allowing you to do more sets, more volume, more of the correct technique, which you can then apply later on to the big boy weights as well, which is hopefully what will happen next time. But, you know, definitely, you know, science-based lifting has its uses. Today, I feel like I was really able to benefit of those uses, but of course, you know, not everything or nothing in life, I should say, is black and white. You know, it's not one or the other. You just take both and you apply their advantages, or you use them to your advantage. So today, lighter weight, but like I mentioned in the beginning, the burden is heavy. My legs are tired. They will have to recover. And yeah, that's basically it for today's training. Very happy with how it went. So now all I have to do is basically, well, you know, when you listen to Master Roshi, train hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. I trained hard, studying well, that's like the technique, I guess. I'm trying to learn the correct technique. In between trainings, I'm thinking about training what I can do better and stuff like that. But then you have the eat and sleep plenty. That's what I'm about to do, you know, have dinner and basically go to fucking bed. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for, well, another leg day, but this time or next time, I guess tomorrow, for hamstrings. So I'll catch you then. Whew. Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 337 of bulking to calisthenics. Bulking to